Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are safe and enjoying learning through e-lecture. In this series, I, Dr. Seema Maheshwari, welcome you all in today's e-lecture where we are going to discuss chemical cycle about carbon cycle. After going through this lecture, you all shall be able to know about carbon cycle types and various components of carbon cycle. Carbon is an element found in many different forms within our earth and atmosphere. We literally would not be able to live without carbon. It is that important. The key molecules that make our body, such as proteins, carbohydrates, and DNA, contains carbon as a major component. The carbon cycle is essentially nature's own way of releasing carbon in different ways. It is the process in which carbon travels from the atmosphere into organisms and the earth and then back into our atmosphere. So how this process works, we need to know this through a carbon cycle. So carbon cycle is a series of processes by which carbon compounds are interconverted in the environment, involving the incorporation of carbon dioxide into living tissue by photosynthesis and its return to the atmosphere through respiration, the decay of dead organisms, and the burning of fossil fuels. We can further divide carbon cycle into two types: biological cycle and geological cycle. Biological cycle, it goes from few days to thousands of years, while as geological cycle goes on for millions of years. First, we discuss biological cycle, which starts from autotrophs. They consume atmospheric carbon dioxide and convert into organic food through photosynthesis process. And this reaction is, we all know very well, 6CO2 plus 6H2O in the presence of sunlight form C6H12O6 plus 6O2. This organic food is passed when it is consumed by heterotrophs, that is consumers as we, plants and animals. This carbon is finally returned to the surrounding medium by the process of respiration. And respiration, what the chemical reaction is going on? C6H12O6 plus 6O2, it gives 6CO2 plus 6H2O with energy. Also, when plants and animals die, they start to decay and decomposers act on the dead organic matter, releasing carbon dioxide. Further, dead matter is also converted into fossil fuel, which on combustion also releases atmospheric carbon dioxide. Thus, carbon content that was taken is now released back to the environment. Here we study geological cycle of carbon. Carbon circulates between air, water, rocks, soil through processes like weathering, sedimentation, subtraction, volcanic eruption, etc. Let's understand this with the help of this cycle. In atmosphere, CO2 dissolves in the raindrops and weak carbonic acid is formed, which is H2CO3. This rainwater reaches the earth's surface. It slowly starts weathering of rocks, forming carbonate compounds. Now, due to erosion, these carbonates are washed into the ocean, where they start depositing and settling at the bottom of ocean, and over the time several layers of sediments are formed. When condition becomes suitable, large deposit of this sediment is converted into formation of limestone rocks. Formation of such limestone rocks sequester carbon for millions of years in the earth crust. The process of capturing and storing carbon is known as carbon sequestration, and natural reservoir like limestone or rocks that store carbon are called as carbon sink. Now, when the tectonic plate move, limestone rock is pushed deeper into the ocean, and this process is called subduction. High temperature and pressure causes limestone rocks to melt and releases carbon dioxide from the rocks by means of volcanic eruptions again, and this CO2 released back into the atmosphere, completing this geological cycle. Now, various importance of carbon cycle. This plays a vital role in balancing the energy and traps the long wave radiations from the sun. Therefore, it acts like a blanket over the planet. If the carbon cycle is disturbed, it will result in